Time to find out what America really thinks.
The Islanders hear some home truths.
Who is the most fake, the most boring, the least genuine?
What? Damn. Oh, sure. I'm too.
This shit is rough.
Those with the fewest votes risk being dumped from the villa tonight.
All revealed.
Hey you guys, welcome back to Romance Review TV with Lady T, and I got another recap for you guys. Love Island USA Season 4 Episode 18. And it looked like Nadja is still trying to see what she can get in, where she can fit in when it comes to Isaiah. The public has been voting for different categories, and there are 2 people that are vulnerable who will be dumped from the island. So before we unpack all of this, take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel for all updates. And please don't forget to like and share. So let's talk about this. So in the previous episode that was on Friday, we lost Serenity to the previous elimination. And then we had Nadja being super thirsty over Isaiah, even though it seems as if Isaiah was giving a little bit back attention to her as well. Which brings us to this episode. So Nadja is trying to figure out how she can get in, to get some time to, try to get a chance to chat and get to know Isaiah more. Now, she's having this conversation with Kat about the fact that, as much as he's all loved on by Sydney, he's been giving her googly eyes from across the villa. Now, with this conversation, she gets emotional. I mean, she even describes Sydney as a baby chimpanzee hanging all over Isaiah. Wow. Well, I mean, she has been super clingy. She's trying to make sure that she is marking her territory. But as Kat did tell Nadja, she thinks the other reason is that she's insecure about their coupling as well. And that does make sense, because if you are secure, I don't think you have to give that much attention to your partner, because obviously you feel that they aren't going anywhere. But she's trying to lock it in. So switching sides on this conversation, Isaiah and Sydney are talking about what she claims Zeta told her, which was that Nadja was going to try to steal him from her. She technically did not say that. And I know a lot of you guys that were in the comment section saying that she lied, because that's not exactly what Nadja said. However, he's trying to give reassurance to Sydney that all is well. He's not going anywhere. I know that she might be open. And then she kind of gives this whole thing, well, if you are open, I'm not going to lock you down. And that's going to happen several times in this episode. So continue looking. Then we have this conversation with Nadja and Jeff. And I feel sorry for Jeff, y'all. I really do. I think he really thought he could have a connection with Nadja, but Nadja is open. Her options are open to Isaiah. He realizes that, and it sucks. And the fact that she's torn between the two of them, because she said that she also still want to get to know Isaiah, but also still want to get to know Jeff. And I'm like, girl, you don't want to know Jeff. They should have just kept Bria so Bria can figure out her thing with Jeff. That's how that should have went, and sent Maddy home. But we'll talk about that later too. But in this scenario, it just sucks that, the connection cannot be made. Speaking about lack of connection is Chaz. And I know a lot of people are coming for him because of the whole thing with Serenity. And because, the finesse game was so good with Kat, he bought it. Now, granted, Serenity didn't reciprocate the energy that he was given the week or so when they were together. But she wasn't 100% in either. Kat got in. She got her foot in the door. I mean, honestly, she was so disconnected because when he gave his speech, she didn't even think that he was even talking about her, which it didn't sound like it. But even so, she was still shocked that she was even there because she doesn't have a connection with this guy. And that's so unfortunate because, honestly, I think Serenity should be here for Jeff. I mean, Jesse. I keep saying it. I know you guys agree with me in the comment section, but it is what it is. So all of the Islanders turn in for the night. The next morning, we see a conversation with Courtney talking about Bryce and how Bryce is not giving her the attention from the get-go like he was, and her love languages, and the fact that he is rolling his eyes constantly. That didn't make sense to me because obviously, unless there's something we're not seeing, I'm seeing a different type of Bryce. But for whatever it is, she's now trying to recruit Zeta to go and sit in on a conversation that she want to have. Then Maddy in this whole conversation about Jared. Now she finds him attractive, but it's not connecting for her as much as she finds him so sexy, so handsome. The connection is not there. And part of it is because she should have went home with Andy. And I'll keep saying that as well. That coupling shouldn't have split up. Now, I will say on the flip side, Jared actually still think he's building a connection with Maddy. So they need to get their wires straight because right now their wires are way crossed. So then we have the conversation that Courtney wants to have with Bryce. Zeta don't want to go. She said that in the beach hut session that, as much as she loved baby girl Courtney, the thing is she feels that if they're going to have this type of conversation, she needs to have that one-on-one with him. And of course, what she called her over, and I'm like, the guy going to seem like he's cornered. And I didn't understand this because she tried to make it look like he was going to get aggressive or she didn't feel safe or whatever that is. And that's a dangerous narrative to paint over someone. I didn't like that in this episode. But he came across like, hey, I got to watch what I say. I'm going to be respectful. I'm not going to do anything. He even asked why Zeta was there. And so when they explained it all, I know he had to be giving Courtney the side eye, like, what are you talking about? He didn't even understand what she was talking about. And at the same time, he was like, well, I think we good. We can grow this. Where are we going with this? And we didn't really get an answer from her. So then we see Isaiah having a conversation with Nadja. And of course, Sydney don't want to make it look like she's watching, but she is. And she got eyes looking out for her. But Isaiah you can tell by his body language, he actually did not engage. I thought maybe this was going to be his opportunity to say, well, I'm open. I do what I want. And no, he was like, yeah, I hear you. I understand you. But, what I got with Sydney, I'm going to stick with that. So I guess he's sold on Sydney. I thought from previous episodes that he was open. So she pretty much got the answer she wanted. They hugged it out. They gave a little friendship hug with the space in between, and that was it. And of course, Sydney wants to know what's going on, and she told them that they went their separate ways. However, we do hear Maddy telling Sydney at this point that she misses Andy. And the fact that people are expecting her to have a connection right off the bat with a new guy, it just doesn't make sense to her. She can't understand it, but she misses the connection she had with Andy. And I totally get it. And you should have left. Just like I've been saying for the past several episodes. I don't know why the girls voted to keep her here when she built something with Andy and now the boys got it. And Andy was already set to be eliminated. So they knew he was out the door, but they still kept Maddy. Didn't make sense. Then it was time for this whole challenge. Of course, the public been voting. So Timmy and Zimmy got the hottest couple. Bryce and Courtney got the award for the most boring couple. The least genuine couple went to Kaz and Kat. And then the most one-sided relationship was Jesse and Deb. And we've been saying that from day one. It's not there. I've seen Jesse do better with Serenity. I know I keep saying that, but okay. So then we have this again conversation about Jared. Maddy. I mean, at this point, you need to make some decisions, because if you're not sold, if you're not sure that you want to continue this process, maybe you need to just go home. Now, unfortunately, that might leave Jared single, which for some reason I kind of got a hit that Nadja was kind of fishing for information about Jared. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, Maddy is done. In regards to Isaiah and Timmy's conversation, Timmy is over here being a cheerleader for Isaiah to go ahead and pursue the connection with Nadja. But as much as Isaiah was trying to get details and he was like, yeah, I understand where you're coming from, I think he's at this point realized he halfway through this season and he's like, I am about to mess this up. There's $50,000 on the line. So, and the thing is, Zimmy is a hot couple too. So they could be, that money is up for grabs for them too. So this could be a chess move on Timmy's part to get Isaiah to kind of screw up, which would throw the public off, which also would throw off the voting. So then there's this conversation with Sydney and Deb. Deb is concerned because they got a lot of nominations for some of those negative awards, her and Jesse. And so now she's trying to figure out what to do next. Both of them. Sydney's trying to figure out if she should leave the door open for Isaiah. And Deb is trying to figure out, you know, what am I missing? Maybe it is one-sided. And the answer to that, Deb, it is. Jesse is not 100%. I know he's blaming it on, you know, some personal growth. And that could be the case. I do not want to negate that. But like I said, I cannot unsee what I saw with him in Serenity. And he ain't doing that with you. Yeah, that should be a question mark. So then we got Chaz, you know, being on the mind of Nadja. Because now she's kind of switching a little bit. Because she was like, well, maybe I should pursue things. And I think I screwed up my opportunity with Chaz. And I'm like, oh, here we go. So we'll have to see how that go. So now it is their little evening soiree. You know, now Sydney's having a conversation with Isaiah. As much as she was clingy in the beginning, now she's saying, you know what, I'm a queen. I got to remember that. And that now, you know, I'm going to let him know that if he want to go pursue that, go ahead. But I'm not here for it. So you need to go figure it out. Then Deb and Jesse was having their conversation. They're trying to figure out how to work on this thing. She needs more from him that he's not giving, and he's saying he's trying to work on it. He want to continue to try to pursue things. I just think this is a dead-end couple. It's one-sided, just like they were voted. So I think they should move on. So now there's a text message that the voting also consisted of the least favorite islander or most popular islander, whatever. But the ones at the bottom, of course, were the ones that we saw, and that their fellow islanders, who were the remaining ones that were safe, had to make a decision where the boys had to eliminate one girl and the girls had to eliminate one boy. And the decision was made, but as soon as Deb started to talk, they left us with a cliffhanger with this.
Monday night. 2 more leave paradise. Then 6 new girls. And 6 new boys. It's time for Casa and more.
Okay, so there you have it. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Let's get the conversation started. I know it looked like we maybe only have 1.5 couples, Zimmy and Isaiah and Sydney, but everybody else is wild cards at this point. Plus, 2 people are going home tomorrow night. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm looking forward to Casa more. Maybe we can get some more couples out of this, because what we got in the OG villa, it ain't working with majority of them. And I mean, I would love to see Jeff find somebody. And even, I don't know, if maybe Maddy sticks around, maybe she finds somebody she connected to, but honestly, I think she need to go home. So let me know your thoughts. And until the next video, take a second to make sure you're subscribed to this channel for all updates. And don't forget to like and share. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.